the first thing that we're going to do in our lesson for today is talk about circles. Circles have many different parts that make them up. Today we're going to talk about just a couple of them. The first part of a circle that I want to talk about is the center. The center of the circle is literally in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and just color that in. It might not be exact, but we'll try our hardest. Okay, that's called the center of our circle. So now that we know where the center of our circle is, let's talk about two important features of our circle that we're going to use quite often when we're finding information about a circle. The very first thing that we're going to talk about is the diameter. So I'm going to spell that out for you guys. I would write it down so that you have it for reference. The diameter is measured by finding one side of our circle and drawing a straight line through the center all the way to the other side of our circle. So if I'm looking at my blue line right here, that would be the diameter of this given circle. Now, the diameter can go multiple ways. It doesn't just have to go in that specific direction. I can also draw the diameter from maybe this side of my circle through the center all the way to the other side. Or maybe I want to draw it from here all the way to that other side. Or maybe I want to draw it here all the way to that other side. It doesn't really matter where you draw in your diameter as long as it's from one end to the other end of a circle through your center. The second part of a circle that we're going to talk about is called the radius. So I'm going to write that down for you guys as well. The radius starts in the center of your circle and goes to an edge of your circle. Okay, so if I look at my little red line segment here, that would be a radius. But remember, that's not the only radius in the circle. I could also say, oh, I want to start here and go here. That's also a radius. Maybe I want to start here and go here. That's also a radius. Maybe I want to go here and start here. That's also a radius. Maybe I want to go here and go here. That's also a radius, right? So as long as it starts in the center of your circle and goes to any part of the edge of your circle, that would be called a radius. Now, if we look at the relationship between the diameter and the radius, you'll find that the diameter is actually equal to 2 radii, which is just the plural of radius, right? So if I know my diameter, I cut it in half, I get my radius, right? If you look at the radius, you'll notice that the radius is equal to half of your diameter. So half of the diameter. So let's look at an example with actual numbers because I find that it's easier to kind of problem solve when there's numbers present. So say for example that my radius here was 3. If my radius was equal to 3, then my diameter would be double that, right? So that would be 2 times 3, which is 6. Alright, so now that we know a little bit about the radius and diameter, let's do some practice problems. So say for example, I was given a circle like this. Notice that you have a line that's going from edge to edge and cutting through your center, right? So you know what about the circle? Well, we know that the diameter is equal to 7 centimeters. So my question is, well, what is the radius, right? Remember, radius is half of your diameter. So if I wanted to find the radius of this circle, I would take my 7, divide it by 2, and that would get me 3.5. So my radius here is 3.5 centimeters. Remember that the radius is half of the diameter. My next question here is asking you to find the diameter. So let's look at our circle here. We notice that we have a line segment that's from the center to the edge of our circle. So based off of my drawing right here, I know that my radius is equal to 5 inches. However, it wants me to find the diameter. So what is the distance from one edge to the other edge of my circle? So remember, the diameter is double the radius. So 2 times what my radius is, which is going to equal 10. So my diameter here is 10 inches. Remember that the diameter is double the radius.